Fire Escape Engineers Inspector Summary Video. Here we are in Philadelphia. We have a rooftop deck feeding to a fire escape, all welded construction. This fire escape is pre-existing, non-conforming. Rail system is not necessarily to code. That will be decided by the building official. Fire escape must be structurally sound, must be kept painted. The fire escape needs a paint job, and it's not structurally. This fire escape is pre-existing, non-conforming in that it was kind of just built here in the spot. So a lot of non-industry standard fabrication and installation techniques, all welded. So in order to certify this fire escape, I need to certify all the welds through X-ray, or I can load test. But again, because we have some pre-existing non-conforming issues, first let's start off with the paint. If this fire escape was older than 1978, there is some lead paint, so no welding allowed. The railing systems, additional lines needed, or the city official may want bars on here, especially if there's children. So there's the 4-inch rule there, but this is normally on older fire escapes, and this one looks like it was recently added here within the past 25 years. Single line, so anybody trips and falls, especially children, will get through. So that's a life safety concern. Might turn this into a dangerous building issue, but currently there's no dangling treads, nothing that I can see would cause this fire escape to be an imminent collapse. But non-traditional construction is happening here. So whether or not they want another rail on this side to be determined. A lot of times 2-line rails is the norm here, but single line may be acceptable on the roof, but once you start going down the stairs, it's not acceptable. Children, dogs, animals can fall through any one of these holes. Okay, so going down, all welded construction. The rise and run is not correct, but all welded, and not necessarily by a good welder. As you can see, every one of these welds is questionable. Look at all that rust coming inside. So welds rust from the inside out. So I need to verify these welds through load testing, X-ray, or if I start bolting these, I eliminate the need for the weld, but I can caulk these up and be done. Every single one of these welded treads needs to be X-rayed, load tested, or we pop some bolts into it. There's no need to load test. The rail system is missing rungs, so additional lines may be requested by the city official, again because it's pre-existing, non-conforming. 100% of the structure is all welded. Again, this guy built it literally in place. What was here before was removed, and then this was put back. This looks like an original column to the whole structure, and then they sort of removed everything and then put everything back on. This is all railings, so every one of these railings is tack welded, as you can see. So a lot of this will not meet the load or the X-ray. So welded connections need to be, backed up with bolts. So if I put a flat from here to here, put a bolt in it, I can negate that weld. But it needs a paint job. All welded treads need to be rebolted, X-rayed or load tested. Coming down here, we have some issues, and I'm going to. Cement is popped out. We got cement holes. Inadequate stepping. Look, see, this is an inadequate, correct first step, but it was a fix because somebody didn't know how to do rise and run correctly. So as you can see, it's a filler. See the cement missing in there? Okay, and this platform here, I got to double check. Again, rails are inadequate. So this is, again, somebody just came in here and built this on site kind of thing. All right, let's take a look, see if those things are through bolted. So see that bracket coming down? See there's no cement there anymore? See that one over there? Cement is gone. I'm looking for through bolts of any kind into this building. If I don't see none, or I don't have a reverse bracket, this is an unsupported platform, which I think it is. So that needs to be addressed. Look at here. There's a through bolt here. Through bolt that picks up that corner. And again, that welded corner is kind of iffy, but there's a through bolt anyway. Reverse bracket. Picking up that corner, picking up that cement pocket. So you get that cement pocket, railing. See, this is what happens with weld. I'll go into the detail there. See, cement pocket, no cement. So, and again, that's because they couldn't put a bracket underneath. And so the upper one is missing, doesn't have a through bolt of any kind. So whether that turns this into a life safety or a dangerous building issue will be discussed by the city official of record, the inspector of record. Here's what happens with welds. See, welded. But look at that. See the welds, it rusts from the inside out. Rust from the inside out, right? And then even though that weld was there doing its job, it snaps, it pops. So see, the weld didn't deteriorate, but inside the weld did. See that? See there? And that's what happened. So, all welded fire escapes must be x-rayed and load tested. So all x-ray. So we can rebolt all of these connections, and that way we avoid the load test. We avoid the x-ray. Inadequate railing systems here on this fire escape. It does have legs to the ground. Again, original hardware. This used to be an original fire escape system. Somebody came in here, kept the legs of this, removed the whole remaining pieces, and then created this piece and kind of welded it here on site. I'd say 25 years ago. That's how old this structure looks. But somebody did what they did. See that bracket there? But that bracket up there doesn't have that reverse bracket, and it's not tied into the building anyway. So in discussions with the city official, they will determine whether or not this is considered a dangerous building. Since it is occupied, they'll verify whether you need temporary repairs until such time that you issue permanent repairs to make this fire escape certifiable, or if there's a load test coming, again, then they exit out to there. There are some trip hazards, broken cement throughout, whether or not that needs to be part of the violation. But again, pre-existing non-conforming rails, looks like they just kind of welded and tack welded railings into position, platforms. So this fire escape needs rebolting in its entirety to avoid the load test, and we need to speak with a city official of record to determine whether or not he is going to accept some of the pre-existing non-conforming rail systems on this, some of the through boltings that's missing, and those will all be discussed in a report to the city officials should they request more detailed information. This is just an evaluation. Fire escape does not pass the pre-load test evaluation, cannot proceed to the load test. Any questions? Fire escape engineers inspect the summary video. The evaluation will be out in 3 to 5 days as far as the checklist items, and the full photo and video will be out in 3 weeks unless asked to be delivered sooner. Any questions? 866-649-0333. 866-649-0333, Fire escape engineers.